And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday. It's October 16th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we are on a Monday morning and all ready to get started here smack dab in the middle of October. If you look at the calendar, today is the 16th. That means 15 days have passed. We got 15 more to go in October after today. So, Don Hamlet, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you today. Don, of course, is with Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon, and comes here each Monday to tell us the latest. And we're waiting to hear what the latest is this morning.
Well, the latest this week is kind of the same things I was going over last week. I want to just touch points again with everybody and remind them. We do have some awesome interest rates still going. We still do have 0% for 84 months on some select pieces of equipment. And I know we talked about that last week. Got some great deals on some lawnmowers right now. It's the fall of the year. Two sides of that I want to talk about. One would be just the great prices and that we have on our lawnmowers. And number two, it's a perfect time of the year to go ahead and bring your equipment in and get a service done on it. Don't wait till next April, to bring that in, get that done. Go ahead right now and get it done.
The service department may be slowed down about this time of year.
It's typical, people aren't just using things as much as they do in the spring and early summer, so it's the perfect time to get it on in, get it out. If you don't have the availability of a truck and trailer, just call Clint. He'll schedule something up, come out, pick your equipment up, bring it in, get it serviced for you. For the first time, too, also since probably the beginning of 2020, we actually have a few pieces of construction equipment. Excavators, skid steers, those type things. If that's something that, you're out there listening this morning, headed to a job site and you've been thinking about getting a new piece of construction equipment, we actually have some in stock. Give me a holler. We'll start working on some stuff for you. And I know that at the first of this month, a lot of the farmers are going to know this. They registered for the TNAEP, which is a way for farmers to get some assistance, some money on some hay equipment this year. Sometimes it's buildings and different things. I think was last year. This year is hay equipment. I don't think that money comes out until April, but if you need to go ahead and make a purchase this year, we do have a few select pieces that we could get. I'll try to work wherever I can to get you whatever you're looking for. And then, you still qualify for your money for next year whenever that comes in. But, there's a lot of things going on out there.
Well, there are a few games to play, and
there are.
You can be more successful if you play those games.
You do. You got to work it. You gotta stay on top of everything. We try our best to always be on top of those, help our customers do whatever we can to help them save money. There's a lot of different ways to do that.
You do them a good job, they're going to come back to you when they need another one.
I hope so. Let's hope they do.
Well, you really have the Kubota tractors, hay equipment, the zero-turn mowers, even RTVs, and Kubota and other things that you have there. Some of the brands that you have actually Kubota owns or
Land Pride would be, that's all your implements, your brush cutters, your box blades, your post hole diggers, your hay spears, all of that stuff. We've got all that sitting there in stock, ready to go.
And what about Landmark? Is that a Kubota?
That's Land Pride.
Okay.
And then you got X-Mark.
There's not Landmark.
Yeah, there's X-Mark.
That must be a typo.
Yeah, that is a typo. It's on your piece of paper over there. That's X-Mark and Hustler and Red Max. We carry all of these brands. The brands that we're going to sell, we're going to keep your maintenance items in stock for you all the time. We're going to have your fluids, your filters, your blades, your belts. We're going to keep that stuff in stock all the time, ready to go.
Well, you got a great group of people who work together there. Of course, you're here and in sales, but you mentioned Clint Kelly.
Yes.
Heads up your service department.
He sure does.
Caleb helps you in sales, right?
Caleb is also in sales, and we have Colin and Gunner would be the guys. Whenever you walk in, you walk up to the parts counter. I always think it always helps me if I walk up to a business and I know the employees' names. We try to learn our guys' names. I'm pretty horrible at people's names. I would probably be more likely to know that 5 years ago I sold you an L2501 DT tractor than I would be able to remember your name. But that helps get the conversation started if I can remember your equipment. So
Well, you are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's
and
correct.
Still open on Saturdays for a little while.
Until Thanksgiving weekend will be our first weekend we want right now. And this Saturday, I will be there from 8 a.m. until noon. Just please don't stop. 1506 West Main Street, kind of on Main Street between Kroger and Publix there. So
Yeah.
please don't hesitate.
And one other thing, your website, which we probably don't mention enough.
We don't.
www.absolutekubota.com.
That's it.
All right. Well, have a great week. We'll do it again next Monday.
See you Monday morning.
All right. Don Hamlet with Absolute Kubota again at 1506 West Main in Lebanon. And that phone number 615-449-6171. We're 10 minutes after the hour. And I have a special guest this morning. Sam Hatcher is joining us. And Sam has recently assumed the chairmanship of the Board of Trustees at Cumberland University. But Sam, good morning, first of all.
Good morning, Coleman.
You and I go back a long time. We were reminiscing some of the times back in the 60s and 70s, as you sat here this morning, when you were at the Lebanon Democrat newspaper, and I was here, and our two bosses, mine was Jack Hendrickson and yours was Carl Wallace. So you grew up here in Lebanon. Your father, John Hatcher, used to have John Hatcher's Men's Clothing, and I bought a suit or two and a few sport coats and trousers over there, I guess, over the years. You worked there at one time, didn't you?
I did. I worked there when I was in school. Actually, in high school, I would work there on Saturdays for $3 a day, and then when I went to college at Cumberland, as a matter of fact, for my first 2 years at Cumberland, I would come home and work there on Saturdays or work there during the Christmas holidays.
Well, your father was a good businessman, and he was on the city council at one time, if my memory's right. Ran for mayor.
Sure did. That's exactly right. Yeah.
And of course, your brother Jimmy Hatcher, the late Jimmy Hatcher, he was a coach, more athletic guy than you, I guess. Tennis is your game, isn't it?
That's exactly right, Coleman. You know a lot. I mean, this is amazing. You bring back a lot of memories here.
I remember. In fact, I think your brother might have been a freshman when I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
And he was a basketball coach. And then, of course, unfortunately, with brain cancer, I believe.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
But we remember him. But you've played your role in a lot of ways here in Wilson County, and of course one of them for many years there was what you did at the Lebanon Democrat. So I'm sure that was at least a springboard to other things.
I think so. I really, as we were speaking there just a moment ago with Don, the newspaper business, print media has changed so much, and it used to be a point where people relied on getting that Lebanon Democrat and getting the local news, and that was such a big thing, and not so much about front page news, necessarily about crime or things, car wrecks and things like that might be happening in the community. But what was really neat about those small town community newspapers is that you turn back to page 4 or 5 and read columns from somebody that lives down in Glayville that may be writing a column about what had happened during Glayville or in Glayville during the a week period of time. And it may just be an out-of-town visitor that stopped at a house, or it may be someone who fell and broke a hip and was in the hospital. But it was, it was quite interesting to read those local columns.
Well, it definitely was. And I had an aunt that wrote the Centerville News at one time.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Mr. and Mrs. E.B. Sloan were Sunday dinner guests of Mr. and Mrs. R.D. Gregory and whatever.
And they always ended those columns saying, "Good time had by all."
Well, those are sort of the good old days. Things have changed, and television has. And cable TV and the internet and all and computers, it's a totally different world.
It is, and that's a good segue to what I was sort of hoping to say this morning. I had an experience on the golf course. I'm not a very good golfer, but I did have an experience on the golf course last week, and I was having to wait for someone playing in front of me, and this young man pulled up behind me in his golf cart, and I noticed he had a Cumberland University golf bag on his golf cart. So as we were both waiting on this hole to hit, because there was someone in front of us, I said, you must be on the Cumberland University golf team. And he said, yes, sir, I am. Very polite young man. And we went on to talk a little bit about that. And he had told me that their golf team was in a tournament just a few days earlier and had placed second in this tournament among 10 or 12 universities. The tournament was played somewhere in Georgia. And he said, my roommate actually finished second individually in the tournament. And I said, wow, that's good. And he said, my roommate is from Sweden. And I said, really? And he said, yes. And I said, so now where are you from? And he said, well, I'm from Stewart County, Tennessee. So I don't know how many people will know, but Stewart County is about, 30 miles west of Nashville, probably, northwest of Nashville, maybe farther than that. But I thought it was so interesting that a kid from Stewart County, Tennessee, would come to Cumberland University and have a roommate from Sweden. So where else would that kid from Stewart County be able to go to school and enjoy an experience, a cultural experience of having a roommate from Sweden?
How about that? Well, by the way, you have just recently accepted the chairmanship of the Board of Trust Cumberland, succeeding W.P. Bone, I believe.
That's correct.
When did that actually take place?
That was in June, and I've got to say, W.P. was chairman for 3 terms, 6 years, and just the school has just seen phenomenal success under his leadership, just absolutely phenomenal success.
Well, we hope it's going to continue, and we'll talk about Cumberland, maybe among other things, after we go to a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. It's $59.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Start to slow down because of this accident on 24 westbound and OHB there in the Antioch area. It's really bogging down that traffic coming in from Rutherford County, Murfreesboro towards Nashville on 24 westbound. Traffic's heavy now through the Mount Juliet area, headed into Hermitage on 40 going westbound. Watch for radar on 65 up in Millersville this morning. Enjoy Smoky Mountain Fall Festival at Ober-Gatlinburg. Check it out online at obergatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hey, this is Sean Smith with the Jewelers. We want to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary. Cheers to that and many more.
Hey, this is Chris Dow, Commissioner of District 15. I'd like to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Mike Young. I just want to wish WANT a happy 30 years and hope you go another 30.
This is Jonathan Thompson with the School Board Show. Congratulations to the station I grew up listening to on 30 years of broadcasting. WANT, Lebanon.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually, by phone, or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Now's the time to get a great deal on proven Kubota farming equipment. Tractors that are adaptable, versatile, and rated #1 in durability and owner experience. Hay tools that are backed by a 2-year warranty. And durable Sidekick utility vehicles and SSV skid steers. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 48 months now through December 31st. Visit KubotaUSA.com for full details.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main, Lebanon.
Coleman and Company, we thank you for joining us, and my thanks to Sam Hatcher for showing up this morning. But let's talk about Cumberland, and if we run out of something there's plenty more we can talk about when we get through. But you seem to really have an affinity for Cumberland University and have for years and years. And I think, haven't you been on the board of trust for a long time before becoming chairman?
I have. I think I first went on the board in 1980. So that's a long time ago.
Well, then you had, and I bet you were really good friends with Bob Clement.
Excellent. Yeah, really. And matter of fact, I heard from Bob. We still communicate sort of frequently with each other, but we talked, I believe it was last Friday, we had a phone conversation. He's just recently gotten a high award from the railroad industry, and I think he was presented the award last weekend, and so we chatted a little bit about that over the phone.
But you've been a part of Cumberland all these years. Is there a particular reason that you were attracted there, or that it happened? What, of course, having somebody with a newspaper maybe that you could get to be one of your trustees might not be a bad idea. But I just wonder. I mean, you didn't have to.
You know, that I thought about that this morning early when drinking my first cup of coffee at the house, and you know, I think maybe I went to Cumberland to school for 2 years when it was a junior college, and then transferred and went to Tennessee Tech for my remaining 2 years. But you know, I can remember so many times hearing my mother talk about going to school at Cumberland. She roomed with her sister. They were from Ashland City, and came here and went to school, and hearing her talk about stories then and when it was a 4-year school, and seeing the school go back to being a 4-year school. That happened in 1982, and Bob Clement, of course, became president at that time. You know, that has probably driven me as much as anything to have a real interest in the school. I know some may have a hard time understanding that, but you know, I really would hope, and Lebanon has changed so much, as you know, and Wilson County has changed in recent years with our growth. I'd really like to see Lebanon become a university town and really embrace Cumberland for what it's accomplishing and what it's doing. And I don't want to take the time from you, but you know, Cumberland has changed so much in recent years, and I don't think people realize that. I had an opportunity to speak to a county committee, I don't know, probably 2 months ago, and I just said in that committee meeting, I said, you know, Cumberland's got a lot of international students now. As a matter of fact, we have this year students from 49 countries.
Oh, wow.
On campus. And you know, that is amazing. And our growth is just phenomenal.
Well, what do you attribute that? There has to be some sort of attraction for Cumberland to have somebody that really coming that far.
A lot of those students are athletes that are coming here,
okay.
And but others are not. It's not necessarily that. There's a program called Equal Chance for Education that some of your listeners will be familiar with. Dr. Michael Spalding, who is a retired urologist who used to come to Lebanon from time to time and practice at UMC maybe one day a week or whatever and see patients. But Dr. Spalding started this program called Equal Chance for Education, and it provides an opportunity for scholarships for international students. And so Dr. Spalding, who is actually on the Cumberland board, has opened that door, so to speak. But other students are athletes. And you know, I mentioned the golf team a minute ago, and I made a note of this morning. On the 2 Cumberland golf teams, which are coached by Rich Williams, we have students from New Zealand, England, Sweden, Scotland, Norway, Russia, Austria, and then others from Middle Tennessee. But, you know, that's quite a collection of students.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. The golf team done fairly well over
It's done well, and I believe, I should know this, but I believe last year, I believe we ended up like 5th. Rich, I hope Rich isn't listening because he'll get upset with me about this, but I believe The ladies team ended up maybe 5th in the nation. The golf team did, and the men's team does well as well.
And you don't have your own golf course. Where do they practice?
They practice at Five Oaks, and it's a little hilly to be walking, so they ride carts at Five Oaks, and they play I believe they play their golf matches at 12 Stones in Nashville because it's a little bit easier to haul a bag around.
Well, we don't hear as much about them as we do, especially baseball and football and basketball.
That's true. True.
Golf is a good game too.
It's a great game. A great game. My wife and I have been watching a series on TV on Netflix. It's called The Pacific, and this is sort of a segue again, but I think it's really interesting. And I told her it's a World War II series, but at the beginning of World War II, the Secretary of State was Cordell Hull. And to think about the influence that this person, Cordell Hull, had on not only on our nation, but on the world as Secretary of State. And here he is, an alumnus of Coleman University. And I think that is so special. And to think that now that we rely so much on the United Nations, and he was the person who is regarded as the father of the United Nations.
And there is a statue.
And there is a statue of Cordell Hull. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Well, what do you foresee as the future? I mean, you've got record growth. I think it was record growth last year, and I know you've exceeded the 3,000. And what's the future look like?
Well, I think much of the same. Paul Stum does a tremendous job, as you know, as president of the university, and the board of trust is quite excellent. We have a lot of different fields, different areas of expertise represented on the Board of Trust. The nursing school just recently had its graduate score 100% of its graduates passed the licensing exam for registered nurses, and that's happened 2 of the last 3 years, which puts us, I know this is going to hurt your heart, but it puts us above Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, I believe, has like a 91 or 92% pass rate, and ours was 100% at Cumberland. So it's got to be one of the best nursing programs in the state,
that
and perhaps in the
region.
region.
Says if you want to pass your state exam, go to Cumberland.
That's exactly what that says. Yeah, but I think in the future, I think there's going to be continued growth, and of course, where we're struggling right now is to find housing for students. We're going to have to make decisions with respect to where we put them as far as dormitories or, what's going to happen there, because we see continued growth for the university.
Possibility of building some more dorms?
Absolutely. I would think that's got to be on the horizon somewhere. Yes.
Well, it's been a great ride for several years here, and I think we have to give a lot of credit to Dr. Stum. It seems when he came in there, things just started going up.
Exactly. Our enrollment has actually doubled under his leadership that started, I believe, 7 years ago.
How difficult or how much difference is there being, and you've had at least 2 or 3 months here to answer this, to being chairman of the board and just being a member of the board?
Oh, I don't know. There are a lot of meetings, I can tell you that. And we have several standing committees and a couple of ad hoc committees, and I try to go to each of those committee meetings. This week, I think we have 3 of those.
But you really have your finger on the pulse more than ever before, I would think.
I would think so. I'm involved in perhaps more decisions at the university, and WP could probably speak better to this than I. But it's different. I'll be honest with you. It's very different. But it's really an exciting time, and to hear the reports from 2 weeks ago, we had a student affairs committee. And we talked about the results of the nursing scores, the pass rate on the nursing exam, and so many other things came to light. And, I sit there in these meetings and I think, gosh, I wish people in Lebanon could hear, what's being done on campus. There's so much that it can't be all made available to the public. There's just so much going on and so many exciting times.
Well, it's one way people can help, of course. It's a private institution, and you always welcome the contributions.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Absolutely. And I like to say this, too, and I ran across this. I thought about this yesterday at my church. There was an announcement made by 2 Coleman students that helped the minister move his mother out of an apartment, and he thanks them. They were actually in attendance at the church, and he went on and said some really kind things, nice things about Cumberland. But, I was thinking about if you are a parent or if you are a student in high school and looking for a place to go to college, do you realize if you're a Tennessee resident, you get to go to Cumberland free for the first 2 years under the Tennessee Promise. Right. And a lot of people don't realize that, but that is a real asset and a real value for families here, but also across the state, to be able to let your student or let your child attend a quality university.
And then you do your best to keep them for 2 more years.
Exactly. And there are scholarships available. There are ways that they can continue to stay there at Cumberland and, get a degree.
Sam, we are out of time. Thank you so much for coming out this morning. I know you are an early riser, so I didn't get you up early, but I appreciate it, and it's been an enlightening conversation.
Thank you, Coleman. Thank you very much.
That is part 1 of Coleman and Company. We've got more. We hope you'll keep it here, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, where premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 615-449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still trying to clean up a couple of accidents that occurred on 24 coming in from Rutherford County into Davidson up through Antioch on 24 going westbound. That's why it's been a little bit heavy at times leaving Murfreesboro headed towards Nashville. It's busy over here right on schedule 65 south at Trinity Lane. Watch for radar this morning in certain parts of I-40 out in Dixon County. Hey, Prince's Hot Chicken is hiring. Check out that menu today for all the details. PrincesHotChicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
When it comes to Medicare plans designed to meet your needs and budget, there's no place like Farm Bureau Health Plans. We've got Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplements, Part D, dental, vision, designed with folks like you in mind. Visit our office at 214 North Castle Heights here in Lebanon. You can see Charlotte Webster for your Medicare or other health plan needs. You can always get a quote for auto, home, life insurance, and also commercial insurance. Then again, West Dugan, Farm Bureau, Castle Heights office.
Drug-Free Wilco is partnering with local law enforcement agencies for National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day on Saturday, October 28th from 10 to 2. Law enforcement will be hosting 4 events across the county at Gibbs Pharmacy, Walgreens on West Main, Three Forks Marketplace, and Mount Juliet Pharmacy. Unused medications are a public safety issue that may lead to accidental poisoning, overdose, and abuse. Participants will receive a free lockbox from Drug-Free Wilco. This project is funded under a grant contract with State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Partly sunny skies expected as we begin your work week today, warming up to about 60 with northwest winds gusting up to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy down to 43, partly sunny and back up to 61 for Tuesday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It's Monday morning. Billy Mullinax is here. We always enjoy his visit. One reason is you bring me my second cup. Actually, it's my first.
Your first cup now.
Yeah, I've cut back a little bit on the coffee. But anyway, thank you for my first cup.
You're very welcome.
You doing okay?
Yeah, doing good,
That's
Coleman.
Good. Well, Billy, of course, is general manager for Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. Is here each Monday to talk about the Rams and the Jeeps and the Dodges and the Chryslers and the service work and everything that's going on there. You got a great location.
Well, we just talk about a little bit of everything, Coleman. We may talk about football. We may talk about cars. We may
we just talk about a little bit of everything as a general rule, but
that's one of the things I like about a live commercial that's 5 or 6 minutes long. You don't say part of it is the same, but you try to say it a little bit different and not go in the same order and all of that, so that you don't bore the listeners, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right, and it is kind of nice having a live commercial, to be honest with you.
I think so.
Yeah. But we've got a great location on the north side of the interstate, which is the what side? The easy side. That's right. And a little easier to get to than the other side and navigate around. But great facility there with that great 3,000-gallon saltwater aquarium in the showroom. And we've got a great staff there to take good care of people, whether you need service work done or if you're looking for a new vehicle to you.
Well, now you get some new people from time to time, but you've got a pretty solid core of people that have been with you both in sales and service for a while, right?
Well, we do. We've got a good group, like you said, a good core. Seems like you're always changing a few of them, but we do have a good group of people there, and they love taking care of people.
Well, we talk a lot about the new ones here of late because your inventory's increased so much, which does make a difference. I mean, if you've only got 3 or 4 to choose from, and there's not one there that you really like, maybe you go ahead and take it, but sort of reluctantly. When you got 15 or 20 to choose from, maybe it's a harder decision. I don't know, but at least you got more to choose from.
Well, that's right, and we've got 225 or so new ones on the ground right now, Coleman. So we've got a great selection, and it is way different. I mean, I think it is better when you don't have to settle for something because you're spending a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And you ought to be able to get something that's pretty doggone close to what you're looking for when you're spending that kind of money.
Well, you do have a lot to choose from right now, and you probably can't brag enough about the Ram trucks and all that the Jeep has to offer.
Well, of course, Ram and Jeep are our main 2 brands that we sell more of. And you're right, the Ram truck, has won so many awards, it's getting where you can't even list all of the awards that vehicle is winning. And then the Jeep products, they're just, the Jeep Wrangler, there's just not another Jeep Wrangler. It's been around a long time, and there's been a lot of people tried to kind of copy it, but I don't think anybody ever really has. It's just kind of a standalone.
What most people don't come in and pay cash for a new vehicle. It's usually a financial thing. You work well with people on that, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Coleman. And we use a variety of banking institutions, and our finance managers that's what they do for a living. There, they get customers connected with banks. And, they know which banks give the best rates on each particular circumstance, whether it's somebody with great credit or if it's somebody with marginal credit, if you're, borrowing the entire amount, or if you've got money to put down, or if you've got some negative equity in your trade-in vehicle. So there's a lot of different scenarios. And so, that's why we have those professionals there that know which bank really probably is going to do the best on that particular situation.
Well, that's good to have somebody to guide you if you're not already in a good situation.
Absolutely.
And yeah, okay. Well, of course, your hours, you are your sales department, that is, open Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that's a lot of hours to come and get what you need.
It's plenty of hours in the day, Coleman, that's for sure. And we can't forget something. That's right.
We don't want to forget that
that's
you
right.
can see that entire inventory of new and pre-owned cars at MountJulietCDJR.com.
Might even see your neighbor there, Coleman.
If we ever forget that, we're just going to hang it up.
We'll just quit.
but that's a place a lot of people start. And it is, we've talked about this, don't have much more time this morning, but it's a great website in that you can just get on mountjulietcdsyard.com and find all your inventory right there without even leaving any personal
That's
information.
right, with a price. Yeah. With the price. So that's the beautiful thing, Coleman.
All right. Well, hope you have a great week. We'll hopefully do it again here next Monday morning about this time. And Billy Mullinex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Billy's General Manager, Mount Juliet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 600 Pleasant Grove Road in Mount Juliet. 21 before the hour. Mayor Hutto is here this morning. Wilson County Mayor Randall Hutto. Good morning.
Morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you. And you got a guest with you. You can introduce her at the right time, but how are things?
Things are well. It's been a good weekend, and fall is here.
Yes. Yes, it is. We're right smack dab in the middle of October today.
Mm-hmm. School started back today, I think, for several folks, and so...
after the 2-week break?
Yeah.
Fall break, yep.
It's a push to Thanksgiving now.
School buses were out this morning for a difference.
A lot of traffic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I got here early, but earlier than usual, to be honest. But everything's lovely.
Good.
You want to get started now? You want to talk to the lady? Tell us who's here, or we keep that in suspense?
No, let's go ahead and talk. We got Sarah Davenport here, and she's got a little something she would like to talk to the folks about. If you give her just a minute or two.
So we're going to do that first.
Yes,
Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
You've been here before.
Yes,
and,
sir.
I think you are a fixture in County Mayor Hutto's office. Even left for a week or two one time.
Very short time.
Came back. No, it's good to see you.
You too.
Everything going well?
Going well.
Good. What do you got for us?
Well, thank you again. Thank you, Mayor Hutto, for giving me just a minute of your time. And also, happy Boss's Day. Today is Boss's Day, so everybody make sure you thank your boss. Did want to talk to you real quick to let you know that it is time to make nominations for the annual Governor's Volunteer Stars Award. It's a program that we do every year, actually originated out of the governor's office, and they still run that program, but we have been on board with it for at least the past 10 years. For the state, it's in its 16th year, but our office has done it for at least 10 years now. It's a great way to recognize people in your community who really go above and beyond, who volunteer in all different facets, all different kinds of organizations. There's no limit on what you could nominate someone for. So we would love to hear about that. The process is very, very simple. Just go to our website, wilsoncountytn.gov. Right there in the middle of the page, we have a spotlight section. Just click on Governor's Volunteer Star Awards, and it will take you directly to a small, quick online application. You just click a few buttons, fill in a few fields, and hit send, and it's done. So that's really all there is to it.
Do people get nominated time and again, or it doesn't matter if you've been nominated before, or does it?
It doesn't matter to us. Now, you can be nominated as many times as you would like. That's perfectly fine, and our office will always recognize that. Now, the state will only let you win the actual award one time. Mm-hmm. Wilson County is a little bit special in that regard because while the state only recognizes your adult and your youth winner, we'll recognize everyone because, to us, you can't differentiate, well, who really does a better job than someone else? I mean, they're all important. Can't make it work without all of them. So it's just great for us to recognize everybody.
And you, really, I think in your situation, the more the merrier. You love to get those nominations in both categories.
Yes, it's great. I learn something new from it every year that I didn't know. There was a need here or there, or a place that I could get involved. And I think that's good for people to see, too. I know we have a lot of volunteers that say, I just don't want to be recognized. I do this because I just enjoy doing it. I don't really want people to know that I do that. And I understand that. I think I get that. But it opens so many doors for other people to get involved in places that they didn't know about. So I think it is good to still kind of put yourself out there a little bit more. Let somebody nominate you. Nominate yourself even. That's no problem with that, too. But the sky is the limit. We have recognized teachers, teachers assistants, Rehab 23, Sherry's Run, just a little 9-year-old girl that was running a lemonade stand. So there's really no limit into what you can do.
And I think getting nominated is nice and maybe encourages people to go on and do more.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And this also fits in really nicely with our Wilson County Kind campaign that just kicked off a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So it's a great way to do both of those if you're wanting to get involved in that campaign that we've started. And it is phenomenal because we need more kindness in the world. This is a great way to kind of segue into that.
All right, well, tell real quickly, how do you nominate yourself or somebody?
WilsonCountyTN.gov, go to the Spotlight section, click on the link it takes you to the application, or just give our office a call. Call us at 615-444-1383. I can send you a direct link, no problem.
Okay, well, Mayor, back to you, and it's almost time for a break, but if you can get something in here, go ahead.
All right. Well, Coleman, I thank Sarah for what she does in the office there.
I think all Wilson County does, really.
Well, they do.
I know
yes,
they would.
They do. And we have a great staff that works together there. Sarah leads the team. But, these small things like this, I think, really make us different from the other 94 counties. And she spoke about Wilson County Kind. And, Susan Shaw helped start that as well in our office, along with Brooke and Christy. And it's just really been a good thing to do the extra things, the things that are above and beyond maybe what the office is really called to do. So it wouldn't happen without their leadership, and I appreciate that.
All right. Thanks for being with us, Sarah.
Thank you.
We'll take a break right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford. That regular oil change, $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, $16.73 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We still see this heavy traffic still trying to get in from Rutherford County, headed towards Davidson County on 24 West, up through the Hickory Hollow area. We did have a couple of incidents up through there a little bit earlier. It's crowded now, right on schedule. 65 South at Trinity Lane. Still not too bad right now as you leave Dixon County on I-40 going eastbound, headed up through Kingston Springs. It's building, but it's moving on I-40 through the Mount Julian area as that traffic volume leaves Wilson County towards Nashville. Hey, don't miss it this year. Smoky Mountain Fall Festival going on at Oberg-Gatlinburg. Check it out at oberggatlinburg.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Hello, this is Elisa Eakes from Sherry's Hope, and I'd like to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Archie Grooms. Want to say happy anniversary to WANT FM 98.9. Just a local boy on a local radio station.
This is Galen Wilson with Wilson Rides, and we just want to wish WANT a happy 30th anniversary.
This is Fantastic Fred Anthony, the Saturday Night Wizard at WANT. I'd like to wish them a happy 30th anniversary and have 30 more years.
I'm Michael Starr, a licensed local insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency in Lebanon, Tennessee. Choosing the right Medicare plan for you can be confusing. Let me help you find a plan that best fits your needs and budget. Call 615-830-4875 to speak with a licensed insurance agent for a free appointment, virtually, by phone, or in person, to review your specific needs and help find a plan that's right for you. Health Markets Insurance Agency Incorporated is licensed in all states and D.C. Service and product availability varies. Agents may be compensated based on enrollment. No obligation to enroll.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Padua Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
We continue here on this Monday morning. County Mayor Randall Hutto is going to take the reins now and go to 8 o'clock and tell us all about what he's been doing and what's going to be happening tonight.
Well, Coleman, of course, tonight is a quarterly meeting, but I think first just want to mention a couple of things, really. Still be in prayer for those family members of Bernie Ash that passed. Really enjoyed his leadership for us there in Wilson County as a veteran service officer, and then our time together as mayor. was really a good time together. And of course, he continued to serve our veterans, and we just want to be remembering his family. And also,
and I'd heard too, I'll be quick, that
Yes, sir.
the two of you had gone to Mount Juliet together at times, and
We had.
maybe you worked closer together than I had even realized.
in his office when we first started was right beside my office, and now that's where I'm at. We cut a hole in the door after they moved to the Veterans Plaza, and so I'm in his office where him and Carol was at. So, yeah, but he was really good to work with, and I thought a good leader. He led his style and got things done. He was our budget chairman as well during all that time on the county commission. Also, Mr. Bobby Allison passed away, which is Jeff Luttrell's father-in-law, just to be in remembrance of them as well. As we talk about, what's going on, there's been a lot of things happening, and just go back through a few things that were pretty big, I thought. The powwow that came to the Ag Center again, year after year, was good. We honored Dr. Bone over at Vanderbilt Wilson Hospital for his service. Did a little fundraiser for Sips and Sounds for Wilson Rides that continues to provide rides for our seniors. I got a chance to speak to the coaches, about 70 or 80 of those at Cumberland University. Ron Pavin had me to come over there. They're going through a little book that they talk about, and it was really good. You read that book and then kind of talk to them. So really enjoyed doing that and getting back a little bit in some element. We brought in Charles Etzel. Etzel Charles is his name, and he actually does a lot of research for market graphics as far as growth and stuff goes, but he has a passion for seniors, and so we pulled some people together and just talked about what his vision was, and he wanted to hear what their vision was for seniors in Wilson County. And we're probably headed down a path where we're going to try to make sure that Wilson County becomes a senior-friendly community, which we think will enhance life for seniors here, maybe the ability to recruit seniors as well. And so we're looking forward to that maybe next project that we're going to have. LaGarda Elementary School had a groundbreaking for that. A good time. Several people came to that one. And then tonight we'll have the Home Safe visual right before the County Commission meeting where they honor those people that had been domestic violence victims, and as well as talk about the services that we have here in Wilson County for those people. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just I just thought of the Mount Juliet Lebanon football game that went into double overtime. And if I had my preference, it would have been the other way. But an undefeated team at Lebanon takes them to double overtime.
It was a great game. I got a chance to go, of course, and there was, it was all Lebanon first half. Everything kind of went our way. A couple of passes went through their hands right into ours, and we scored. And so it was one of those nights, 28-7 at half. And that's sometimes tough to go in when you're up that much, but it was, Mount Juliet has a good team. We knew that 6-0, and we came back, and they just kind of worked their way back through the game, and our kids fought hard, and sometimes when that momentum turns, it's hard to turn it back. But hats off to both teams. It was a good football game and a great atmosphere and a good crowd. As we talk about the meeting tonight, we will start out, of course, with a rezoning for 1,113 Council Pike. It's in Commissioner Hobbs's district, going from R1 to C4. It's almost 35 acres. It will have a negative recommendation from the Planning Commission. The last time it was up, it got pulled, so I'm not for sure if it will make it to the floor tonight or not, but it is on the agenda for that, so we'll have a public hearing for that as well as a public comment period as well for just the general public. It is a quarterly meeting tonight, so we will have all the other elected officials there and give them a chance to talk, and always good to have them come in and share a little bit. We will.
And some of them take longer than others, but they do their thing.
They do their thing, and it is good just to hear from just the different departments that we don't hear from normally. We'll have a few line item transfers tonight. One will start out with the longevity pay for the magistrate from the judges. Will be the first one we have, and then we got several different line items in the sheriff's department. They have done a tremendous job of receiving grant monies in, and so one will be grant money going into the budget from the Tennessee Department of Health, about $710,000 on that one. Another one from the Sex Offender Reserve will go to pay for some pay to TBI and purchase some LE equipment that will go for those personnel. There'll be some grant funds out of the sheriff's department to go from TELTA hiring and training and recruitment. There'll be another one from the fund, the Violent Crimes Grant, that will go to the license plate reader system that's going to be out there from Motorola to the data service on that. And there's 2 or 3 more that are linked to that one that I'll get to in a minute. But the next one is a lease for copier agreement and a postage meter. And you think those things are simple, but the auditors now want every time that you have any type of agreement with any other company or vendor that it must go through the county commission. And so we have to run even the copier agreements through there. Another Sheriff's Department grant for 21. The license plate reader will be for that one as well. There'll be another grant one for the installation of license plate readers themselves. And so, as I've mentioned, 3 of those so far. One of them is a data package. One of them are the meters themselves or the readers themselves. And the other one is the installation of those readers. And so that's why I mentioned those 3 times. There'll be a grant for hiring and training recruitment from the state, and that's where they give us money for those that have gone on and got extra training, and so they pay for those people to have that extra training. We get at least a stipend from the state for that. A lot of them transfer for education on various items there, and then there's a cleanup in the stormwater department to where they'll have a lot of them transfer there, and then those are all of them for tonight. As we start early in this year, you don't have as many transfers, of course, going on because everybody's still working off a fresh budget, so that is good.
The groundbreaking for the school the other day, Friday, yes. I guess it was, received quite a bit of publicity, and some of the things they're going to be doing with this new school are innovative ideas, some of the safety features.
There is a grant, of course. I mean, the bond that was there was $53,400,000, and it was a couple of alternates were put in there as far as making the building safer and providing a couple of other things that some of our other schools hadn't had yet as far as windows goes, hallways and structure. So that was a pretty big deal. I will say that we did a good job timing-wise of those bonds sold for 3.7% interest at the $53 million. About 5 or 6 days later, Rutherford County issued one for $175 million, and it was like 4.3. So interest rates are going up as we speak, but we lucked out on that one.
Well, I just wondered when I heard of some of the new safety features there, if that's probably a thing we're going to be hearing more about, especially in new school building, but wondering if there might be some adaptations to current buildings along those lines. Has that been talked much? I might ask the school board people, but you probably know about that too.
Well, they do, and even back before I left Lebanon Special, there was conversation at that time about restructuring grants out there for restructuring hallways for tornadoes at that time. That takes quite a bit of an undertaking, and sometimes more than you can get done in the summertime, so it makes the renovations tougher. But definitely as we build and go back, or we do take on a full renovation project, that would be a good time to do that. And I think that has been the forefront of the state recently to make that happen or ask for that to happen. And our school board, as always, have been on top of things and have said, hey, let's try to do that this time if we can afford it. So they put those in there as alternates, and it worked out to where we could afford that.
Will that be a theme at all for new county buildings? I'm just thinking about the new, I don't know what we're going to call it, but
Judicial Center.
Where the courtrooms are going to be beyond the jail out North Cumberland.
Yes. It will be. There's no question that I think that's kind of an innovative thing that's going to happen across the country now as more and more violence happens and takes place at public places, that we're going to make sure that as we build those things that we had that structure of the right kind of windows in there, the right kind of door structures, the right kind of hallway structures for tornadoes, because those are, seem to be more frequent than what we used to be.
Well, another thing we might mention here this morning, we got about 2.5 minutes left here, Mayor. Okay. We're always wondering about, the bottom line, where we are money-wise, and are we still in pretty good shape in the county?
We are, Coleman. So far, so good. As we always say, our county commission has done a great job of trying to manage, along with Aaron Maynard and his team at the finance office, of making sure that we continue to put things back when we need to. We limit the kind of purchases that we have to have, but yet we still provide a good service. As we talk about schools, which is one of our biggest expenditures, of course. And many times people get that confused, I think, too, with they look at, for example, they think, okay, well, 80% of the money that we take in goes to schools. And that's not necessarily true because that's counting federal and state dollars. So it's really only about, if you look at the $1.90 that we charge you right now, 81 cents of that goes to education. So the rest of that $1.90 goes to the other funds and departments that we have. So therefore, they're a little bit less than 50%. But we have lots of other projects going out there today. And, as you look back at the things that the county commission has been able to accomplish over the last few years, WEMA stations, a new jail, of course, a school right here. The next thing you'll see from our Board of Education will be they'll bring to us the Central Pike Elementary School, and hopefully we'll be able to take care of that one as well without a tax increase, and that will come to us sometime in the future. A lot of conversation about maybe trying to take care of the Lakeview School, the renovations there. So me and Director Luttrell met just recently and worked a plan to try to cover that one as well when the time comes to do that. Conversations about Watertown Middle. And they're going to poll some people up there and kind of figure out what they want. Do they rebuild right where they're at, or do they go to the new high school and build close to that? But they're going to let the town folks kind of talk about that, because just like when we had the old Lebanon High School issue here that we turned into a central office, a lot of people want to see the old site stay there and hate to see that go, and what is the right moves there. So I think Director Luttrell has a great approach of making sure that we let the people talk about that as well and give that feedback to their school board.
At least listen to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
come to the end of our time here. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll do it again next month.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Coleman.
County Mayor Randall Hutto, and that's it for a Monday. Hope you'll join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.